They say blood is thicker than water. But what do you do when it's your own blood that poisons the water you drink? This is not just a story, this is my life. A story I never imagined I'd one day have the strength to tell. But if you're watching this, or listening, it means I finally gathered the courage to open up. Because someone out there needs to hear it. This is a story by Ivie. Please like, comment and share. My sister and I grew up like twins, even though I was older by 4 years. We wore each other's clothes, shared secrets, even dreamt of marrying on the same day. She was my best friend, my confidant, my ride or die. When I got into university, she was just finishing secondary school. I remember always sending part of my allowance home just so she could buy things she liked, new sandals, makeup, even little things like ice cream from the junction. When I got married to my husband, Emeka, I was 27. My sister, Amora, was 23. She was one of my bridesmaids. I can still remember the smile on her face, so wide, so proud. Or so I thought. Emeka was everything I prayed for. God-fearing, handsome, smart, calm. He wasn't rich, but we were building slowly, brick by brick. I used to tell my sister everything. Whenever Emeka bought me a gift, I'd show her. When we had little fights, she was the one I'd call. She became a regular in our home, sometimes staying over for days, even weeks. At the time, I thought it was sisterly love. But now, looking back, I see the signs. One day, I came home early from work. I remember I had forgotten a file, so I rushed back. As I opened the door, I saw them. Not naked, not kissing, but too close. Too comfortable. She was laughing and touching his chest. And his eyes didn't flinch when I entered. That day planted the first seed of suspicion. But I buried it. I told myself, I'm overthinking. That's my sister. She'll never. 3 years into our marriage, things began to shift. Emeka became distant. He wasn't praying with me like before. Had big fights over little things. And worst of all, he stopped touching me. I begged him, cried, prayed. I thought it was spiritual attack. Meanwhile, my sister had moved into our house temporarily because she was looking for a job in town. One night, I woke up to pee. Something told me to check the guest room. The door was slightly open. And my husband wasn't in our bed. I walked slowly, my hands shaking, my feet heavy. And there they were, sleeping side by side, fully clothed, but too close, too intimate. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just walked back to our room, locked the door, and sat in silence till morning. 2 weeks later, I confronted her. She denied it, swore on our mother's grave, even cried and told me I was jealous of her beauty. Jealous. I was her big sister. I gave her everything I had. Even the pillow I used in university, she took it. And now, my husband too. I confronted Emeka next. He didn't deny it. You know what he said? It just happened. You were too busy. Always praying. Always working. Amora was there for me. Like I was the one who pushed them together. I collapsed that night. They didn't even try to hide it anymore. Amora packed her things one day and left. 3 months later, I found out she was pregnant. Pregnant. With my husband's child. She didn't even tell me. I heard it from a neighbor. You know what cut the deepest? It wasn't even that she took him. It was that she never looked back. Never apologized. never acknowledged the pain she caused. For months, I was broken. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I blamed myself. Was I too spiritual? Too trusting? Too naive? One night, I stood at the edge of the third mainland bridge, ready to end it. But God sent someone, a stranger, who pulled me back. A woman I've never seen again. She said one sentence that saved my life. "You think your story ends here? No. This is just the middle. Wait for the ending." That night, I went home and began to fight for me. I went for therapy. I gave my life to God again. I started a business with the little savings I had. I began telling my story, first in private, then publicly. Women started reaching out to me. Some said, "My best friend slept with my husband too." Others said, "I've never healed from my own betrayal." It became clear to me, this wasn't just my pain. It was our pain. And somehow, sharing it helped us all. 6 years later, I saw her again. In a pharmacy. She was with a little boy, maybe 5 or 6. She looked older. Tired. Her eyes dull. She tried to walk away, but I stopped her. I smiled. She looked shocked. I told her, "I forgive you. For my own peace." She cried. Right there in the aisle. She said Emeka had left her 2 years ago. That he cheated again, with her cousin this time. Life is funny, isn't it? I want you to know this. Betrayal can come from the closest people. But pain doesn't have to define you. Never lose yourself trying to keep others. And if someone chooses to hurt you, let them go. The peace you find in healing is priceless. Blood is not always thicker than character. And family is not just who shares your DNA, it's who protects your heart. You owe yourself peace. Even if it means walking away from people you once loved. This was my story. My truth. And if you're going through something similar, I want you to know, you are not alone. You will rise. You will heal. And one day, you will tell your own story too. If this touched you, share it. Someone else needs to hear it.